Hey Nanny Berry artists, for this project, making our dragon eyeball, we're also going to be making a sculpture version of this as well. So we definitely want to kind of get some of our shapes and our textures that we want, especially with our colors. So this is a two-part project, but it's also kind of a third element in it to work on our gradation and our value. So if you guys remember back to when you were a little bit younger, especially picking out your colors, you talked about warm and cool colors, you can kind of see if you're thinking about this as a dragon. There's all sorts of types of dragons. They've made movies based on this. So think even about How to Train Your Dragon and all the dragons that were in that movie, or sculptures and action figures and things that you've seen around. So you can even see in here that this artist chose to do like cool colors and warm colors and then cool colors again. You guys are welcome to do that. So use all of your ones. So right here, this artist chose to just use kind of blues and purples, just like in that gradation I showed you before. Again, another artist, warm, cool, warm, all warm right here. This one's just purple, so it's more monochromatic. So it has just different shades of the one color. So here's how you're gonna start off. I'm gonna give you a packet that I got from Teachers Pay Teachers, so I have to make sure I have that credit, especially in a YouTube video. So right here, you've got many to choose from. You're welcome to even copy one of these, just to kind of learn how pieces work together to create that texture, lines and shapes and things that repeat for patterns. So on here, it kind of gives you a step-by-step, and of course it gives you the numbers. But it's just showing you the layers. So it kind of worked with the beginning of the eye shape. So if it's more round or more almond or more of this kind of like leaf petal shape, then that's fine too. Or leaf shape, not leaf petal, but you can have petals too. And then you're going to kind of build up the armor of that tough reptilian skin, okay? So it also can be, it can have some textures of hair or fur. You might even have more scales, kind of like more of like the ones that live where the fish do, like if it's a nautical dragon, okay? And then you've got this really cool pupil effect, which is what we're going to talk about a lot too with our sculpture. So with that being said, you'll have these two examples at your table and individually. So we're going to start off with a square piece of paper. Now, if you want to start with pencil, that is perfectly fine, especially at home. What we're going to be working with is permanent marker. So I'm just going to kind of go step by step in that direction just to kind of show you. So I'm going to make this eye a little bit bigger and more round. So he may have to see at night a lot more rather than just kind of, you know, hunting out during the day. So he's going to be a night hunter. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of create that eyelid effect. So I may use a bumpy line around, okay, and just kind of wiggle that. And then you're going to start adding texture. So if he is like nighttime, I'm going to make it to where he can dive in the water. So I'm going to add more like scale type texture. It's almost kind of like a braided effect. So I'm going to go around, and I'm going to try to go as quickly as I can so I don't have to use the speed up mode. So just think if it's going to start off bigger or smaller, if it's going to morph into smaller shapes, kind of like what I did with this one. Okay, so I'm going to have some smaller shapes over here around his eyes. So this one I might just go bigger. So I'm going to come in here and kind of change up the shape. Almost kind of like the flower petals that I was mentioning earlier. And these I definitely want to kind of start them to where they look like they're overlapping, and it's going to go off the page, so don't mark on my table. This is in my back closet, so I will clean that later. All right, and then I might just add just a little one off the corner there. So right now it's already looking textured and kind of looks like a big flower petal. So I might even change my mind. Maybe this dragon kind of blends in with a field of flowers in order to do its hunting. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some smaller designs in the background. So maybe that helps it with its seeds. So I'm going to go ahead and imply in this space that it goes off the page and continues. Now, since we didn't get to work much with colored pencils last year, and this year you have your own set. So make sure you have the colors that you need. So I might even kind of go back over here, just add those in. All right, so you get the idea. And then I'm going to add some texture on these big pieces. Okay, so I'm going to go very gently and just kind of make a few little lines. Okay. So now it's the pupil time. So think about when in biology, you guys are talking about how things see at night, nocturnal animals and animals that hunt during the day. When you guys turn on a light, your pupils constrict, which means they get smaller. And you're trying to see in the dark, when the lights go off, your pupils get bigger because it's trying to allow as much light into your eyes as you can. Now, with dragons and some other animals, and especially reptiles, like we're talking about, you're going to have different sizes of pupils. Now, this is a fantasy piece anyway, so you're going to come up with all sorts of cool pupils. So you can have one that's just mostly dark. Okay. I could also do one that's more shaped kind of like a flower. So if I want to start in here and kind of make their pupil like a star type of flower. Okay, so I could start off that way, and I could add a few like hints of light. So you can, yes, you can use the Sharpie to darken this in only for the pupil, because we're going to be using colored pencils to add the darks and lights. Okay, so if I color this all in, then you can go back in and add texture around the eyes. You can see in these other ones. So you can go in, add texture, and then we'll add all that beautiful color in. Okay, so that'll be our next video that we'll watch. So this will be kind of what we're doing today. And then all that texture inside. And then you guys will have the color. So think about even the type of dragon that you have right now, what kind of colors it would have. All right? Okay, thank you for listening. Can't wait to see your stuff.